This video is about introduction to Illustrator and the first lab that we will be working on. Adobe Illustrator is a vector-based artwork, which means it's mathematically calculated versus pixels, which is Photoshop. And you work with lines and shapes, and you can scale these and still have them have a clean look up to a billboard or down to a pen. Some ways of printing require vectors, so it's important that you have an understanding of what it looks like and how to manipulate them. So if I open Illustrator, I'm going to open a new file, and you've got a lot of tabs along the top. Often I am a print designer, so I'll push the print button, and you have some templates that you can use. Points is another measurement system that is an older version of inches. It's a way of measurement that the print industry uses. There's still people who use it, but you can easily change that to inches. And of course, this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and you can just hit create. I always go with CMYK, and if you hit the print button, it'll automatically do that. You can see there's web, and it'll change you over to some web templates. So we're going to stick with print, and we're going to hit create. Now I've got a lot of palettes out. Let me close these up, and we'll go through the handout so that step by step so that you can follow along and stop and start the video. Okay, so there's the tools panel, which is right here. Here's some other panels. There's some mini palettes that pop out. So anything with a little arrow in the corner, if you hold and click, if you click and hold, you'll see that they have some related tools in there. And if you hit this button, they will pop out and you have a little tiny palette if you plan to use these tools for a while. So if you hover over each tool, it'll show you what each tool does. So that's very helpful nowadays, although it can be annoying if you already know what the tool does. So there's two different selection. Now this does not work like Word. It is very much open to whatever you want to do. You move things around. So these two are the main tools. The main selection, which is the black arrow, is for the whole object. And then the direct selection is for pieces of your object, or a direct selection, so you can click on just one element of a whole shape. So that's where the tool panel is. You can find them under Window, and you can have toolbars that they will arrange for you. You can have your workspace change. I like Essentials Classic because that's what I'm used to. And you can bring out, and this is all alphabetical, and you can see what's checked is what is out for right now. So like properties, that goes away, and I can just recheck that properties, and it'll come back. Often with these other palettes. So I'm clicking and dragging, and they can be removed, and they can also be click and drag to combine these palettes, especially in a small laptop. It might be difficult to have all these floating palettes everywhere. And if I hit that, now I'm on a Mac, so it might look a little different for you. So then we have docked panels. That's what these panels are, and you can have them go under each other, if that helps clean up your workspace. And the layers property panel, just what I said, this is something that can help you with elements on your page. I don't use it that much. I don't have that out very often. You'll show, the windows, like I showed you here. You've got color. Stroke is line or outline. You have type, and then there's several palettes. So one's character, one's paragraph. So if the character is out, it will help you with your type. And then paragraph is alignment, and if you're indenting, bullets, that kind of thing. So we're just going down the list here. So zoom and pan. So this is called an artboard. And this is your page, and then you can work out ideas or have extra stuff on the side, but this is your live page. And to get rulers up, I do Command R, and you can see those aren't the right, that's not inches. So I can go to settings and go to units, and I can change that to inches. Sometimes you have to switch it up a couple times for it to catch. And if that doesn't work, try to change it to something else and then try inches again, and it'll kick in. So you can have more than one page. So this is a page. And so if I get out my art boards right here, you can add a new art board. And you can see they're next to each other. If they're too close, like you need a little space, you can go to rearrange, and you can specify, you can have them go across and down, up and down. I usually just stick with this if I have more than one page. And now I have like a little bit of cushion between the two pages. And you can rename these by selecting it and then double clicking it. And you can say front, let's say if it's a flyer, and then this one, double click and it's back. And you can change the size even. You can have multiple sizes. So if I double click here, you get your options, and you can change the size, the orientation. You do have to be careful if you change the orientation, it doesn't overlap your other page. You can make it a different size. You can have, for the most part, surface use. This is fine. This is all you need to know. So those are the zoom. So zoom is Command spacebar, or the spyglass here. It also works. And you click and drag, and it'll zoom for you. Command 0 will get you 100% or to fill the page. You can zoom in and out. You can click and drag an area to zoom. So you might want to play around with that. But again, Command O will get you kind of back to center, especially if you zoom way, way in. So if I draw a square, so this is a rectangle, and you can do squares, of course. And I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to fill it. So right here is your colors. Right now it's filled white and black. If you click this, it'll swap them. You can do a line. So that's in front. So that's what I'm working with. And I can make it no line or stroke around that shape. And then if I click this back, you can use the eyedropper. You can, CMYK is for printing. RGB is for web or screen. And you can change the color up, especially if it's selected. So I'm going to do that and then zoom in. You can zoom way, way in. And you can see the anchor points are these little blue dots on the edges of your shapes and lines. Ooh, see, I lost where I was, so I'm just going back to center. But you can zoom way, way in until this is very large and you're very close to it. And again, Command 0 to get out of that. Yeah, the hand. Okay, so you have the space bar and you'll get the little hand, and that'll help you move the artboard around a little faster than zooming in or anything like that. So this is like your own hand moving your page around if you're doing a drawing in real life. Let's see. You can see that it can zoom way, way in. And so I showed you how to do the new document. You can pick landscape or portrait, just like you could in any other programs like Word. Let's see, change the units from points to inches. I showed you that. You can change from landscape to portrait. So here's my untitled page. And you want to save that once you get going with it. Save periodically. It's a good idea to have a folder for this class and then have your projects and assignments in there so that you can easily find them later. So if I do a file save as desktop, I can create a new folder. It might look a little different for you. And we'll do Illustrator, files, something that makes sense. And then put your name on it. Practice, we'll call it practice. And AI is the Adobe Illustrator main native file. If you click this, you will see that there's an EPS. It's encapsulated PostScript, which is very similar to AI. AI will be, in the future, if they have updates, you will still be able to open that. EPS, you may not. It's kind of enclosed, and that's a good file format as well. But anyone without Illustrator would not be able to open either of these files. Template is where you have something that's preserved, and you would have your basics in there, and then it would automatically make you save as something else when you use it. PDF, PDFs are very closely aligned with Illustrator. So PDFs can be read with most people have Acrobat now, which is the reader in most cases, and that is a way for people to open it who don't have the native program. A lot of files get saved as PDF. Some of you have already been doing that. SVG is not really part of the design industry, but any of these can be opened in Illustrator. So you can take a PDF and open it through Illustrator, and SVG is also not really my industry. But if you were to open it through, here first I'm going to save as, or save would work as well. RH practice, I didn't actually save it. And I'm going to put it as an AI, and I'll just put it in my file. You can keep all of this, is pretty much standard. Now, if I wanted to save as a PDF, you just do a save as. You don't need to export. It's that closely aligned. So then let's say I want to open a PDF someone gave me. I would open it, and it would create, would open everything as if I had made it in Illustrator. The one thing about opening PDFs in Illustrator is it kind of messes up the type and does lines, or it chunks it up into bits. So the type usually doesn't come across very well. So just be careful when you do that. And so PDFs are great, but there's some limitations at times. Okay, so you can save it to the cloud. Just be careful about the cloud, access. Some of these files can get really huge, so you may run out of space. I like the desktop, or having a folder with classes, and then have each of your classes, and then in each class you might have project folders. So being organized is going to be helpful to you. And we've gone through all of the save your work, and then you just send them as an attachment, usually in emails or uploads at websites, depending on what you're going to use your PDF for. So